Hey YouTube, KNDoperative here. I'm in my bedroom right now, filming out my window, and I had quite a pleasant surprise today. I woke up at about 11:30, opened my window, and saw snow everywhere. This is the first snow of the season, and you could say I'm thankful for it, so to say, because it's Thanksgiving. I mean, look, there are still leaves on the trees, and it's snowing. It's way cool. So, I wanted to start my video to say Happy Thanksgiving to all my American viewers, and to say that I think it's pretty cool that it's snowing. So, alright, I'm gonna go sit down on my desk now. Alright, YouTube, so aside from that little intro, I wanted to make this video to talk about something that most of you have already seen at this point. I actually have to get to it because I'm unprepared. Alright, so Yoon13 posted a video last night. And so, he posted this video saying he was on TV. And I was like, oh, I instantly clicked on it because I was like, oh, intrigued. I was like, oh, Yoon13 on TV, yeah, sure. And then, basically from that video, I clicked on the link, which I'm clicking on right now, to, CBS Chicago, their website, and basically what happened was CBS had this video, this news segment about Nerf guns and Nerf modding, and like how dangerous it was becoming, like all these kids on the internet explaining to other kids like how to mod Nerf guns and stuff, and it got me quite angry. And I decided that I really needed to make a rant video on it, so that's what this video is going to be. I have to, like, disprove a whole bunch of the stuff they said. Right now I'm taking an English course, and it's all about persuasion, and recognizing when someone's trying to persuade you. And, when there's a biased argument like this, and especially when the argument is against something that I believe, and because of that English class that I'm able to recognize all this biased stuff, and I have to point it out because it bothers me. Chicago CBS tries to make their argument sound balanced, but they don't at all. You can tell the tone of it is that they're against, like automatically against, Nerf guns being modded, which is ridiculous. I find it to be an outrage. I hope many of you are outraged. I'm just going to scroll here. I don't want to read through the whole thing because I don't want to waste a lot of time. Then it gives another example, and this is the main example of the video that they keep referring back to. This 12-year-old kid, whose name is Kenny Oostman, and they basically explain how he learned how to modify his blasters, and in the video he shows them a night finder that he modded with a 4-barrel speed loader on it, and they demonstrate in the video how it shoots like 3 times farther, 75 whole feet. Wow, 75 whole feet. Like, that's a lot. Think about this, CBS. If a Nerf dart is flying 75 feet, flat, right? Actually, probably not even flat. The kid is probably angling it, because I doubt from that 12-year-old Kenny Oostman's mods he could get 75 feet out of it. Because I'm struggling to reach 70 with my best night finder right now. So, and from the mods that I could tell on his gun, he didn't do anything like... Anyways, I'm not going to get into the mod aspect of this, but basically, I'm going to say I'm sure it probably shot about 75 feet, maybe 10 degrees angled. That's pretty reasonable. Thus, that means the dart hit the ground at 75 feet. So he couldn't even hit anybody at 75 feet. And it means that by then, the dart has slowed down dramatically. So anything past 30 feet, that dart is going to have almost no inertia to, when it impacts someone, to cause any physical pain whatsoever. So, you know, when they say things like that are dangerous, they have to, you know, do some research and actually maybe test it. Have one of their news people stand 70 feet away and have Kenny Oostman shoot them with his Night Finder with the hot glue tipped darts, or the felt tipped darts. He made slugs, so that's even more safe. And they're like, oh, this is gonna hurt really bad. It's ridiculous. And then they try to make it sound balanced by interviewing Kenny Oostman's mom, and she explains how she thinks it's, he's exploring the principles of physics, she says, and he's being creative and inventive. But, I don't know why, the way they interview her, they make her sound, like, completely, like, ignorant, and like she doesn't know what she's talking about. But I'm sure that's not the case. So, anyways. Oh, and then they use, another logical fallacy here. They're basically saying, there's this one video of this kid putting, like, a thumbtack in the tip of their dart, and, shooting it, and then they show this kid, like, getting shot by a thumbtack, and the dart, like, sticks on his arm. And, they're like, oh my gosh, this is an outrage, look at all these kids who are, shedding blood with these toy Nerf guns. It's just, like, okay, just because one kid on the internet is immature and does this, apparently that means every kid who mods Nerf guns, like, does that with their darts? No. Okay, here's the last point that I wanted to make before I end this rant video. When you look at the box that a Nerf dart or a Nerf gun comes in, most of the time it will say 7 years old or younger, or something along those lines. Ages 8 and up, it says on the age group for the Nerf Stampede, which I think is the highest age group that any Nerf gun has ever focused on, is 8 years and older. Correct me if I'm wrong. That doesn't entirely matter for this, though. But my point is, 99.99% of the people who I know, or who I have seen at a Nerf war, so people who mod Nerf guns and actually bring them and shoot them competitively with people, are older than 12 years. I probably met 3 or 4 people that were 12 years or younger. Pretty much 3 or 4 people out of the 200 people that I've seen at a Nerf war, like in person, who have modded their Nerf guns and gone to the war, that are actually in the age delegation of Nerf. So their whole argument is irrelevant, because anyone out of, like, the age delegation of Nerf is like, it doesn't matter, like, what they do with the Nerf products, I mean, look at me. Okay, I'm a 17-year-old kid. I play with toys, right? But I mod them, and it makes them fun, You can take a gun that shoots 30 feet and actually make it shoot like 100 feet. It's fun to think that, oh, I could do that because, I can figure out the mechanics of this and determine, how to get it to do that. And like they said in the video, I can be inventive and, explore physics and stuff like that. It's cool. That's the part I like about modding Nerf guns. Sure, going to a Nerf war is fun. Shooting competitively and showing off my blasters is fun, going to Nerf wars and stuff. But anyone, like, above that age delegation, if they're smart enough to mod a Nerf gun good enough to bring to a war, they're pretty much smart enough to know how to be responsible with that Nerf blaster. Or they're old enough to not have the pain of a Nerf dart phase them whatsoever. So, I don't know. I just think a lot of their arguments are logical fallacies. In other words, they sound like logic, but when you really think about it, it doesn't make sense, especially to someone who is actually a Nerf modder. I think a lot of their arguments are biased. I think a lot of their arguments have a tone that I resent thoroughly. Sorry about that, guys. My camera just timed out on me, which is basically saying that I've been talking for too long. So, anyways, I just want to conclude this by saying I'm calling BS on this one, guys. So calling BS on this news report. So, and again, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. So, thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And, that concludes this video. So, catch you guys on the flip side. KNDoperative out.